Red in cinema is not just a color, it's a warning, a promise, sometimes an elegant threat. When a red dress appears on screen, something is about to change. The story, a character's destiny, or the viewer's memory. These dresses weren't just worn, they happened. And behind each one are secrets that are almost never told. Hello, inhabitants of the internet. Welcome to a new video. Here, you won't find glamour alone. You'll find risky decisions, happy accidents, hidden symbolism, and small cinematic ironies that make the title fall short. Number 1. The red dress that was never meant to be red. Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, 1990. Everyone remembers that red dress as the moment Vivian stops being invisible. What almost no one knows is that it wasn't the first design chosen. The studio feared red would be too sexual for a romantic comedy. Pure irony, that access was exactly what made it unforgettable. The dress worked like an emotional traffic light. There was no turning back. Roberts didn't walk into the restaurant. She walked into film history. Number 2. Red as a silent weapon. Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, 1988. Jessica Rabbit isn't human, but her red dress was designed with almost surgical precision. The color was chosen because it barely exists in traditional animation, forcing the eye to follow her even when she doesn't speak. The dress doesn't clothe the character, it dominates her. It's so exaggerated it becomes parody, so sensual it borders on the absurd. Here, red doesn't seduce, it hypnotizes. Number 3. The red that screamed in silence. Audrey Hepburn in Funny Face, 1957. Audrey Hepburn was associated with delicate, almost fragile elegance. That's why her red dress was an act of quiet rebellion. Givenchy designed it as a contradiction. Impeccable structure, incendiary color. It was Audrey saying, "I can burn too." On screen, the dress doesn't compete with her, it converses with her, like an elegant whisper that turns into a declaration. Number 4. The dress that changed the language of desire. Marilyn Monroe in Niagara, 1953. Before Niagara, red was decorative. After it, red became dangerous. Marilyn appears in a tight red dress that needed no extreme neckline or transparency. The color was enough. The censorship of the era allowed it because it didn't show anything explicit, a monumental technical mistake. Red did the dirty work. From then on, Hollywood understood that color, too, can undress. Number 5. The red dress that almost didn't make it to set. Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface, 1983. Pfeiffer's iconic red dress was considered too cold for the character. They wanted something softer, less dominant, less red. But the designer insisted. The result? A dress that doesn't accompany Tony Montana. It challenges him. While he shouts power, she embodies it in silence. Red doesn't decorate, it threatens. Number 6. The red that deceived the viewer. Kate Winslet in Titanic, 1997. It's not the most remembered dress in the film, but it's one of the smartest. Red appears just as Rose begins to break free from her gilded cage. It's not a bright red. It's deep, almost muted. Cameron used it as an emotional transition. The dress doesn't scream freedom, it foreshadows it. It's the sigh before the leap. Number 7. The red dress that was an inside joke. Emma Stone in La La Land, 2016. The red of Mia's dress isn't accidental. It's a tribute to classic cinema, but also an irony. In the middle of a modern world, the dress seems to say, "This is a dream." And it is. Red works as an emotional anchor. Passion, nostalgia, sacrifice. It's so vibrant it hurts when it disappears, like dreams that don't stay. Number 8. Nicole Kidman, Moulin Rouge, 2001. In 2001, Nicole Kidman appeared as Satine, and cinema understood that red could also be a sentence. Her dress, designed by Catherine Martin with Angus Strathy, wasn't just costume, it was emotional architecture. A rigid corset, thousands of hand-sewn crystals, and a theatrical fall that shimmered as much as it hurt. It wasn't made to accompany a scene, but to announce an ending. In Moulin Rouge, red doesn't symbolize eternal love, but its exact price. Under the cabaret lights, the dress gleams like an impossible jewel. Outside them, it feels like an open wound. Every sparkle reminds us that glamour can also be a trap. Satine doesn't step onto the stage, she sacrifices herself on it. In that excessive universe, where everything is larger than life, the dress turns Satine into both myth and merchandise, goddess and victim. It's not a romantic outfit, it's a tragedy wrapped in luxury, a brilliant warning that smiles as it fades.
Number 9. Scarlett O'Hara, Gone with the Wind, 1939. In 1939, Vivien Leigh appeared as Scarlett O'Hara dressed in red, and Hollywood held its breath. It wasn't the color expected of a Southern lady, and that's precisely why it worked. That deep red dress, somewhere between crimson and burgundy, appears at the exact moment Scarlett stops pretending innocence and decides to play with fire. In a society that rewarded female modesty, that red was almost a public provocation. Scarlett didn't want to be liked, she wanted to win. The dress marked the moment she understood that seduction could be a strategy and that gazes could be manipulated. It wasn't about romance, it was about survival. More than a wardrobe change, it was a declaration of character, passionate, selfish, untamable. Scarlett didn't wear red for love, but for power. And as her world collapsed around her, that color became her silent promise. Tomorrow is another day. Even if to reach tomorrow, she had to burn today. Number 10. Kelly LeBrock, The Woman in Red, 1984. In 1984, Kelly LeBrock didn't need a complex plot to become a legend. All it took was a red dress, a ventilation grate, and a few perfectly timed seconds of wind. The Woman in Red turned an everyday gesture into a cinematic myth. The dress was simple, almost innocent in design, but its effect was devastating. It wasn't sophisticated or elegant, it was pure, direct temptation. Red didn't speak of deep love or existential drama, but of that sudden desire that appears without warning and throws any well-ordered morality into chaos. The scene lasted only moments, but it was enough. Kelly LeBrock stopped being a character and became an apparition, an unforgettable distraction. No grand dialogue or psychological development was needed. Red did all the narrative work. In The Woman in Red, the color doesn't symbolize tragedy or power. It symbolizes that temptation that comes once, unravels everything, and is never forgotten. In the end, these dresses weren't just aesthetic choices. They were narrative moves, emotional gambles, perfectly placed visual traps. Red wasn't chosen to please, but to mark a before and after. So if you enjoyed the video, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Perhaps that's why they remain alive in our memory, because while dialogue fades and scenes blur together, those dresses remain, still intense, reminding us that in cinema, as in life, when red appears, nothing is ever the same again.